Yellowstone 2013. We go to Yellowstone once a year for the last 5 years. It's a highlight of my year. We stayed at Yellowstone Inn in West Yellowstone this year. Nice little place. Cabin like accommodation. And the first place I wanted to go was Norris Basin. Norris Basin is a geyser area. Um, it's not crowded and there is a lot to see. The fact that it's not crowded, it means a lot to me. Here we are walking around the geysers. I think the hiking trail is over 2 miles. It's like boardwalk built by the Park Service. Beautiful pools there and geysers coming up from the earth. I guess you know that Yellowstone is a super volcano, 35 by 50 miles, or 35 by 40, depending on who you ask. Here we are at Yellowstone. That's the canyon, and you see where it got its name from. The Indians named it Yellowstone. And there's elk out in the woods, sort of camouflaged. And bison, there's all kinds of buffalo. I call them buffalo, they're bison. And here we are at the geyser, the lower geysers. There are all kinds of fields out there, cover probably 50 miles by 50 miles. A couple thousand geysers, and I don't know how many thousand pools and fissures and geothermal features. They have all kinds of names for them. And here we are at, this is a great fountain geyser, and its twin is exploding a few feet away. But the Great Fountain Geyser is a sight to behold. It's not crowded like Old Faithful. It erupts every 13 hours. But when it does erupt and you're there on the front seat, you get the best view. This one erupted about 8:15 on, I believe it was July 14th. It erupted till about 9 o'clock that night. Sunset, which made for better pictures. Here, the next day, the first thing I see is a pine tree growing out of a boulder, and then I noticed other boulders had the same. And then we got to fountain paint pots, thermal feature, and geysers were going off. And some of them roared as they came out of the ground. Here we are at Grand Prismatic Spring. It's one of the most beautiful of all. Huge area of springs, hot springs, and acidic water, and also bacteria that grows. That's what the orange is from, orange and green in the water. The bacteria somehow likes the hot water up to 268, 270 degrees. Here I am standing with the fumes of Mother Earth boiling over me. Here we are, Grand Prismatic Spring. See the colors, the blues and the oranges and the pinks. Makes little funny features in the ground there. The blue, look at the little blue mist coming off of it. And then here's a hot pool next to it. Looks inviting, but you better not. Talked to a teacher there from Chattanooga, Tennessee, who asked me about Yellowstone, and he wanted to go back to his students to teach them about it. And here we're at Castle Geyser near Old Faithful. Castle Geyser looks like a tiny miniature volcano. It goes off quite often, but it didn't while we were there. I'm walking along the trails near Old Faithful. And here is Castle Geyser. Jeremy's sitting down. I walked him to death, I think, that day. Old Faithful Inn is behind him. Here's one of the springs or pools coming up, the hot springs. And there's a bridge over the Firehole River. Firehole River is fed primarily by geysers and hot pools. Here's Old Faithful Inn, a landmark, an icon of America, built in 1904. Teddy Roosevelt had his hand in that. Firehole River. See how they're spilling into the river? There's Old Faithful Inn, and Beehive Geyser is right in front of it, and it goes off about as spectacular as Old Faithful, but it doesn't go off as often. Old Faithful Inn is a treasure for America. Yes, I'd like to stay there if it wasn't so expensive. We tried it in 2009. It's $370 a night. Don't want to try that again unless it goes down or I get a special deal. We got a new clock, or fixed a clock inside Old Faithful Inn. It had been broken for years and they fixed it. And inside the inn, here's Old Faithful going out. We got a special seat on the balcony overlooking the geyser, second row seat. And here we are driving across the Continental Divide to Yellowstone Lake. It's 27 miles across the lake. It's the highest lake in the U.S. That's glacier and geyser fed. There's the lake. And then we are at Dragon's Mouth. I don't know if that's a geyser or just a thermal feature. It roars all the time, real loud. And mud pots. This is on the way to Hayden Valley. From the lake to Hayden Valley, you find those stinky mud pots and stinky geysers. And a buffalo is making himself at home. I have a road clothes. I wonder why they have road clothes there. Anyway, more of the mud pots. I've got the writing there. If you want to stop the video, you can read it. And here's more buffalo. The caldera is what they call it, the volcano. The caldera is about 35 by 50 miles. It's the largest volcano on Earth. And the volcano are some of the largest animals on Earth. I think he was posing for us right there. Ah, here's the Yellowstone River winding its way through Hayden Valley. Hayden Valley has a lot of wildlife, bears and buffaloes and deer and elk. And here we are at the lower falls of the Yellowstone. The lower falls is the larger. It's the most picturesque. So we took our picture there. We had to weed our way past a lot of people from another continent. But here we are at Artist Point at Lower Falls. And here is a topographical map of Yellowstone at Canyon Village in the Visitor Center. And now we're going through Lamar Valley. Lamar Valley, there was a stampede of buffalo, bison, off in the distance. You can see it from the road. And there's a northeast entrance to Yellowstone. The northeast entrance is not used that often, but I think it's one of the best because you have to come over Beartooth Mountain to get there. Beartooth Mountain is attached. Anyway, here's Cook City, Montana. It's a unique old mining town. It was almost a ghost town until tourism discovered it. But it is really neat. You've got to go there someday. It's northeast of the park. It's outside the park, but it's on the way to Beartooth Mountain, Beartooth Pass. And here we are. It looks like a taste of Switzerland as we go. Flowers were everywhere. Oh, we were having fun. Anyway, it wasn't just yellow flowers, but it's all colors. Jeremy was busy taking pictures of flowers that day. They grow right up to the glaciers or the ice formations. Trees can't grow, but flowers do. And here's a peak that would make Switzerland envious. Here I am above the tree line. It's about 11,000 feet high there. The pass is one of the highest in the country, if not the highest. Notice the fields of flowers growing right up to the snow. We got a little dizzy up there, but felt great anyway. Welcome to Montana. Montana is one of my favorite states. Oregon is right up there with it. Um, so I took a lot of pictures of the Montana signs, of course. And here we are going on our way down from Beartooth Pass toward Red Lodge, Montana. Storm was about to catch us. Got pictures of the storm clouds rolling in. It might have been snowing at the top, but it was raining on us. And there's a Garmin telling us the switchbacks, showing us the switchbacks. Jeremy wanted everybody to see that, how many switchbacks we had to make. But you can see it for yourself in the picture right here. See the road below, switching back and forth. Little tiny car below, enough to make you dizzy. The altitude is bad enough. And look at the little ground squirrel. They have a visitor center on top there, and there's a biker feeding the ground squirrels. I don't know if they're supposed to do that, but fine, whatever. And here's the town of Red Lodge, Montana. We love this place. We've stayed there.